Hey mamas, this is Caroline with 10 Tiny Toes Yoga. Thank you again for coming to my YouTube channel. Please push subscribe. It should be right there on the screen so you can get these videos weekly. But today's video, without much ado, is going to be yoga for anxiety, yoga for those anxious thoughts. So it's when you're just feeling uncertain or when you just can't control your mind as much as you'd like to. This is going to be the pose, the sequence, the class that you are going to want to come back to, just to help you wind down at the end of a day or just to help to refocus. So without much more discussion, let's get on into it. So grab your stretchy pants, your mat, maybe a blanket for your knees and a block if you would like to, and let's get flowing. So we're going to get started down in child's pose. Taking your knees wide, your toes touching, sliding your arms forward on the mat. If you have a block or a bolster nearby, you can rest your head on that if you feel like you can't come all the way down. Alternatively, if you feel like this is too much of a compression on your knees, you can take, again, a block or a bolster or a pillow, and you can sit on that before you come down. But either way, coming on down onto your mat, onto your child's pose. This is obviously a birthing position, so this is something we want to practice. It releases your hips and your low back. And this brings us to a very safe zone to connect with baby. So as you are laying here in your child's pose, you can just think of this little cuddle that you are in with baby. You are safe, you are comforting, you are loving, and you can do this. So let's go into our breath. We can always find courage in our breath, in our pranayama. So on an inhale, I want you to do it for a 4 count. So let's do this together. Inhale in for 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale 1, 2, 3, 4. Inhale 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale 1, 2, 3, 4. Keeping this count in your head, this slow and measured count, is going to keep us from rushing our exhales or holding our breath. And this is going to work to help to calm your thoughts, to calm your heart, your blood pressure back down. It's very similar to your Lamaze breathing. But also I want you to take this opportunity with this breath to think of how your breath is feeding and fueling and healing and nurturing your baby. So those slow, deep breaths are pushing that oxygen deeper down into your lungs. And those exhales are a perfect opportunity to work on your core strength and to think of hugging baby on up. You can inhale, thinking of baby laying there in this hammock of your body, off of all of your organs, just receiving all of that beautiful blood. And then again on that exhale, hugging baby up, comforting them, making them know that they are loved. One more breath. Inhale. Exhale. On your next inhale, walking your hands over to the right side of your mat, automatically feeling this openness across your left side body, taking another deep inhale in. Exhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhaling, walking your hands back through middle. Exhaling, bringing them over to that left side, lowering your torso back down. Inhale, taking that deep breath in. Feeling your ribs expand along the right side of your torso. Exhale, letting that breath go. On your next inhale, walking your hands back through middle. Slowly lifting your hips up, coming into your tabletop position. We're going to go into some cats and cows. So thinking of your alignment first, your wrists, elbows, and shoulders are in alignment, your hips and your knees. On an inhale, lifting your glutes, lifting your throat, rolling your shoulders back away from your ears. Exhale, hugging baby up into your spine, pushing the mat away, letting your head hang, letting tension just roll off the back of your neck. Inhale, open up again, receiving all the positivity. Exhale, shooting all of that negative energy out, feeling the strength. One last time, inhale and open. Exhale and close. Coming down to a neutral spine, we're going to go into some figure eights. So I want you to imagine that you've got like a Sharpie marker, or just a marker, it doesn't have to be a Sharpie, coming out of your chest. And we're going to start and draw some figure eights. So leaning over and forward, coming into your right shoulder, bring it around to your left shoulder. And then scooting back, sitting into your right hip and your left hip. Keep it going. So we're drawing that 8 on the floor, really starting to find some strength in your shoulders, some flexibility in your hips. We need these two opposite things, this strength and this flexibility, to grow. Now that we've done 3 in one direction, let's back it up and go the opposite way. So now going back towards my left, and then to my right, forwarding to my left, and then my right. Keeping it going 3 more times in each direction. So the lower you go, the more you're going to be building strength. If that is not where you're at today, feel free to bring it up high. You'll still get the benefits of getting into those shoulders, feeling it also in your wrists. Coming back to neutral one more time. Let's roll back to that child's pose, holding it for about 4 breaths. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. 2 more. And now slowly start to lifting your head up. Walk your hands back towards your knees, tucking your toes under, your feet are wide. We're just going to push ourselves back and over our feet, coming into a malasana, a little yogi squat here. So your heels might not come down to the earth. If you want to roll up your mat and place it under your heels, you can. Or you can just accept where it is and not try to push it. But again, this is that birthing position. So this is a great position to find yourself in, just to get that relief and that suppleness, I guess, coming into your hips and your pelvis. Bringing your hands back forward to the mat. We're going to roll on up to standing, keeping our head above our heart the whole way. So pushing forward into your hands, lowering your heels down to the mat. One by one, bring your hands to your knees. Staying here for just a minute to make sure that you have that balance and that blood pressure. We have so much more fluid in our bodies when we're pregnant, so we have to be careful coming up and down. And we're going to do one little cat and cow round here. So on an inhale, squeeze your shoulders back, push your chest forward, lift your throat. Exhale, roll your hips under, tuck baby in, pull your shoulders together, and then slowly straightening out your knees. Roll on up to standing, circling those shoulders around and back, and let's come to standing at the front of our mat. So back here at the front, we're going to start with some modified sun salutations. So on an inhale, find your balance. Find your feet hip distance apart. You're rooted firmly into the mat. You have your feet pushing down. You have energy climbing up your legs. Hands are down by your side. Baby is held in tight. Hips are tucked under. Shoulders are down, low, and back. Inhale, circle your arms around and up to the sky. Don't let your shoulders sneak up into your ears. Exhale, hinging at your hips. Your knees are slightly bent. Come on down to the top of that block. If you don't have a block, you can rest your hands on your shins. Let your head hang just for a moment here. You can slowly kind of sway from side to side. We're just doing this on our first one to allow a little bit more opening in that back. And then sitting your hips down a little bit, hands come to your block. Start to straighten out your legs, pushing your arms into straightness, feeling this flexion happening across your mid-back. Excellent. Exhale, forward fold, releasing your hands. Hips sink back. Inhale, firing down through your feet. Slowly inhale, circle your arms around and up to the sky. Exhaling your hands down to heart center. We're going to go again. So releasing your arms down. Inhale, circle them around and up, gathering in all of this positivity, taking this amazing breath in. Exhale, forward fold, hinging at your hips, coming down towards that block. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Release your hands, bend your knees. Inhale, circle your arms back around up to the sky. Hands meet in prayer. Exhale down to your heart center. Release your arms. Now we're going to go into Sun B. So sitting your hips back like you're sitting into a chair. Circle your arms around and up to the sky. Sitting your hips down. One more inch. We're building some strength here. Exhale, forward fold. So you're going to straighten your knees as you bring your hands down to the block. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, reverse swan dive, coming around and back up to the sky. Exhale your hands down to your heart. Let's do that one more time. Sit your hips down low, circling your arms around and up to the sky. Your glutes are strong. You're pushing your heels down into the mat. Inhale. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, hands on that block. Halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Release your hands, put a bend in your knees, and this time sitting your hips back. Bring your hands back up, coming into that Utkatasana chair pose. Holding this for 3, 2, 1. Pushing down through your heels. Inhale, come all the way up to standing. Exhale, releasing your hands down by your side. Letting that blood circulate back down. We just built up a little bit of heat in our body. Now we're going to step your left foot to the front of your mat and step your right foot back. So we're coming into a wide angle forward fold. So our heels are in, our toes are out. We're just getting set up for this position first. Inhale your arms up to the sky. We're first going to start with a sumo prayer squat. So bringing your knees out wide, sinking your hands into prayer. We're coming into this squat position. Taking an inhale in. Exhale, sink another inch down. Inhale, back up to your 5-pointed star. One more time. Exhale, come back down into that wide squat, prayer hands. Pulling your torso up, rotating your hips under, feeling the openness on your inner thighs. And then inhale, come back up to your 5-pointed star. Now turn your toes so that they're facing forward. Your heels disappear. You can bring your hands to your hips. Inhale, lift your torso up. Feel this stretch through those round ligaments, through the top of your belly. And then as you exhale, we're going to come down halfway. So just bending your knees slightly. They're not locked out. Coming on down halfway, feeling again this stretch in your hamstrings, in your glutes, and then slowly bringing your hands down to the floor in front of you. So we're in our wide angle forward fold here, and see if you can drop your head any more down towards the mat. So we're just trying to feel this stretch in the back of our legs. Keeping your right hand down on the mat, on the floor below your face. Take your left hand, placing it on your hip. And then slowly open up to the left side. You can keep your hand on your left hip if that's going to help you with your stability, or you can extend your left arm up to the sky. And then let's release. So bringing your left hand down below your face on the mat. Right hand comes to your right hip, opening up to the right side. You can stay here, or you can extend your left arm up, your right arm up to the sky, just for a little bit of a deeper twist. Release. Bringing your right hand back down to the mat. Turning your heels in and your toes out at a 45-degree angle one more time. Walk your hands on up to your knees. Sinking down into your hips, using your hands to really help you relax into this. I've got a lot of weight pushing against my inner thighs with my hands. I'm resting here as much as you can rest in this position. And we're going to go into a shoulder stretch. So staying again, straight spine, bringing your shoulders away from your ears, letting your head come out. And then on an exhale, twist to the right side. So it's allowing my left hand to sink a little bit further into that left knee. Inhaling back through the middle, and then exhale over to the left side. My right hand is pushing harder into my right knee. And then release, pushing down through your heels. Come on back up to standing. And then one knee at a time, we're going to come down to our mat. So coming down with your right knee and then your left, we're going to come to Supta Baddha Konasana, which is reclined butterfly pose. So if you have a towel or a blanket or a mat nearby, I have a couple of big couch cushions. So there's bolsters, but I'm just trying to show you that there's a lot of different options you can use. You want to always have your head up, especially after 20 weeks. You don't want to be laying flat. It's just not comfortable, really. But coming into our reclined butterfly pose, your knees are wide, and if this is hard for you, you can even take your blocks or your bolsters and put them under your knees on either side. There's a lot of ways to accommodate these poses. But reclining back onto some substantial pillow positions behind you, keeping your heart up. I want you to relax on down into this butterfly position. And just taking a couple of breaths, we're going to calm our mind down again. So we did start calm, and then we built up a little bit of energy, getting some positive blood, some good energy flowing. And now we're trying to capitalize and to maintain that good energy inside. Just by laying here, binding our feet together, keeping this energy flowing with the bind, relaxing our chests back, letting our breath come and go. If you want to, you can take your hands back to your belly just to reconnect with your baby. giving them a little massage. And thinking back to that counted, that metered breath, making sure that you are feeding and nourishing this baby and not holding your breath. And realizing that this is all that matters and you are doing this. It's important to always speak kindly to yourself. I know that kind of sounds cheesy, but I think that the babies hear everything that we say. They hear the people that we surround ourselves with, the stories that we listen to, the things that we choose to expose ourselves to, we're also exposing them to. And becoming pregnant for me made me become very aware of, like, do I want my baby hearing this, or do I want them surrounded by these people who don't speak positive thoughts all the time? And it made me be a lot more aware of my own life and how I was allowing some things just to persist that weren't serving me. And it made me happier, I think, reflecting on them. So hopefully you can have that same connection of speaking kindly, telling yourself you're beautiful, telling your baby they're beautiful. You are doing everything right, and everything was done right for you as well. So embrace it. So moving from this position, I'm going to take you into one final position, which is excellent basically for anybody. So get your whole family lined up against a wall to do this. But it's going to be legs up the wall pose. So if you are back right here, slowly coming up, pushing yourself up, there's a lot of different variations for you to do this with. So one is just by laying down and having something soft under your hips. Again, if you're past 20 weeks, still having your chest and your forehead, having your head inclined, you can just come on down and then bring your legs up, and you can place them in a chair. I can place mine on the couch. I'll be facing y'all weirdly, but you would just put them up just to elevate your feet. If you want to, you can put yourself close to a wall and put your feet up the wall. This pose is called legs up the wall pose. But what it does is it just brings all of this blood back down. So it's good if you have varicose veins. It's good if you have anxiety. This is one of those lead poses that we do in fertility yoga, just to bring everything back down, to nourish the body, to nourish your belly. But you would do it with your hips on something, with your head inclined and your feet up. This would not last that long without me having an actual wall behind me. But again, if you can bring a chair and have it right here, you could put your feet in the chair. And I want you would just lay there, preferably like 2 to 5 minutes. I have my husband do this for 15 minutes. Your feet will go numb, but you'll be a new person when you come out of it. But this legs up the wall pose is an amazing one for helping you to deal with anxiety and tension, and it's a perfect pose to do just before bed when you want to just calm yourself down. So, hoping that you have found your legs up the wall pose. Another option is also using your block, placing it under your sacrum. It's easier for you to put your feet up at that point, but make sure that it's squarely underneath so it doesn't pop out. But staying here at least 2 minutes to feel the benefits of this pose, to seek in. Going back to your breath, concentrating again on that flow of oxygen, on inhaling all of this cool, clean air, and this positivity, this optimism, And on your exhale, just releasing anything that doesn't serve you, that is not good for you or your baby. Now, if you can, push pause and just stay here a while. I welcome that. When you are ready to come out of this pose, you will either just remove blocks out from underneath you, slowly slide your feet down to the side of your wall, and then you can lay in that fetal position just for a little bit, rolling over onto one side, allowing your legs just to get that blood pumping again, circling your ankles, inviting the blood back down. And laying in this fetal position, again, try to find some gratitude in your heart, some positivity. What you can control is your breath. What you can't control is your thoughts are your thoughts. I was an English teacher. Grammar is important. But I will tell you this as many times as you need to hear it. You can do this, and it will be okay. If you have any questions or comments or concerns or anything you'd ever want to share, please reach out to me, 10 Tiny Toes Yoga, on Facebook or on Instagram. Drop a line, leave a note. I would love to talk and to hear any questions or comments or concerns you have. But thank you today for coming out to share your yoga with me. I hope that this practice brings you peace and positivity. You are loved and you are amazing. So, going forth, let there be peace and love in your thoughts, peace and love in your words, and peace and love in your heart. From my heart to yours, and that amazing one beating fiercely inside your chest. Namaste.